This is the moment a lot of you guys have been waiting for. KSI's next fight was officially announced. AO Arena, Manchester, March 29th against Dillon Danis. At least it's better than the old football player guy, but still, I think it's a favorable matchup heavily in favor of KSI, especially after watching Dillon Danis' last performance. But what's going to be extremely interesting about KSI returning to the ring is what version of KSI are we going to see? Are we going to see that weird unorthodox karate bouncy style that he's been showing in the past however many fights? Or is he going to get back to the basics and we're actually going to see some combinations from KSI, because using that karate type style, he can only really throw 1 or 2 shots at most? Are we actually going to get to see him sit down on shots, slip shots, roll shots, counter? Or are we just going to see jumping jacks all night with an occasional jab, an occasional right hand, a 1-2 here and there, with no other offensive weapons? Like I've said before, and I'll say it again, I'd like to see him switch it up. Go to the traditional boxing thing, switch it up, then go to the karate thing. It changes your rhythm, changes up your timing. You're fighting these guys that are very inexperienced, so they're not going to pick up on it. If he still wants to do the whole karate thing, I have no problem with it, do it. I just don't think he should do it for the whole fight, because as we saw from the Tommy Fury fight, it's just not very entertaining, and he can hardly hit his opponent cleanly using that style. What I will say though is I actually kind of like the matchup. It's a matchup where KSI can definitely win, and if he goes out there and knocks out Dillon Danis, puts his lights out, or stops him in some way, it will look really good on his resume, especially if he can go out there and do something that Logan Paul wasn't able to do. But the problem with this is I think Dillon Danis is going to come into this fight with a completely different approach. I think he's going to be much tougher than when he was when he fought Logan. I think he's going to come in with a different strategy, a different game plan. He got absolutely embarrassed in that Logan Paul fight, and he's going to go into this looking to make a statement and at least bare minimum walk away with some respect, because he didn't get any respect back after the Logan Paul fight. I'm not thrilled with the matchup, but at the end of the day, what other opponents are going to be out there for KSI that are going to be willing to take this on short notice, that have a big name? They probably wanted to do the whole Amir Khan thing, but it seems like he's not taking this very seriously, and he probably didn't really give a shit at all. We all know the Jake Paul fight is most likely never happening, and with constant pullouts, Misfits was definitely running out of options. And since Dillon Danis actually got in there against Logan, I don't know, I feel like he might not pull out this time. I know the consensus is going to be Dillon Danis is just going to pull out again very last minute. Because he got in there and fought Logan, I just feel like he might not. I'll tell you though, KSI's got balls of steel because all the pressure is on him. He is expected to win. I don't think anybody is going to be going into this thinking Dillon Danis is going to win this fight. And even if Dillon Danis has a little bit of a moment in that fight, and it looks like slightly more of a challenge for KSI than it did Logan, we all know everybody's going to be saying Jake Paul is better than KSI. And I don't know if KSI's ego or his crazy fan base can handle that. So really the pressure is all on KSI to not just win, but win dominantly and hopefully walk away with a finish. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on this matchup in the comments down below. As always, I thank you all so much for the support, and I'll catch you in the next video.